So a quick wrap up on training. You know you need a correct goal to focus on, a correct weekly schedule, correct intensity, correct volume, the correct exercise technique, the correct balance of strength, speed and conditioning throughout the training week. So you're fresh for game day and you're constantly making progress. But now we want to focus on how much volume do you personally need to make progress. And I can remember pretty clearly when I used to look online, YouTube, Google, Reddit, all the rest of it, trying to find out what is the amount of sets and reps should I be doing in my program. I spent far too long on it. I actually remember going on T-Nation blog maybe 15, 20 years ago, searching, was it 3x10, 4x6, 5x5, 6x3. There's literally an endless list of exercise selection, sets, reps to do. And it was so frustrating because you could actually never get a straight answer. It was only until I came across like a concept called volume landmarks, which pretty much the penny dropped for me. And the main thing of the volume landmarks I would love for you to get your head around is the minimum effective dose. Now, this is simply the minimum amount you can do and still make progress. And the idea being that when it comes to nutrition, training, recovery, your goals, hopefully by now you've realised that the individual variation's really important. What works for you might not work for somebody else, and that's why the generic PDFs and stuff you might find online don't necessarily work if it's just a cookie cut approach. Now, training volume is no different in this. The volume landmarks and the minimum effective dose is used in sports science. It's even used in medicine as well. So if I told you you could do 2 workouts a week in the gym, you could choose 46 exercises and just do 2 sets a week on each exercise, and you'd get 95% of the progress. And then you had the option to do a third session. Would you choose the third session knowing that it might even eat into your recovery? It might get you an extra 5%, but there's also a chance you do too much and then it eats into your recovery and you can't play as well because you're under more fatigue than you should be. Or would you just cut it at those 2 sets? This is basically the minimum effective dose principle. You do what you need to do to adapt and progress, then eventually that just stops working because your bodies get stronger, fitter, faster, and at that point, that's when you increase the volume or you increase the intensity or you do a more advanced training methods. And a common mistake players make is, what's going to happen is if you skip straight to advanced methods is you will eventually tap out on that as well, and you'll need to go somewhere from there, but there's nowhere to go because you've tried to skip all the stuff at the start. So if you can make progress on less sessions, less volume, and week to week you're getting stronger, the outcome remains the same. Your body is adapted to a volume. It's not going to make you fatigued. You progress. You continue to do that until it stops working, and then you get more advanced, and that continues, and that can last years and years. If you skip all that and go straight to the more advanced stuff, the high volume, the high intensity, the fancy training styles, then you've got nowhere to go from there. So you want to squeeze every last bit of progress out of each part of your training journey. If you can get a ton of progress out of the basic stuff, you do that until it stops working, and then you make small tweaks, squeeze everything you can out of that, and that just continues and continues and continues. And then you can start worrying about advanced stuff when you've maybe got 3, 4, 5, 6 years of progress behind you. Otherwise, you're going to be putting more stress on your body unnecessarily. Point being here that every player is very individual when it comes to their minimum effective dose. What I need is going to be very different to what you need. When it comes to something like low body strength, I only need to do around 3 good sets of squats per week, and I actually can make progress week to week. What I found was through trial and error was if I started getting 6 sets and beyond in, I started getting really fatigued, and actually my progress wasn't that good. I was too fatigued to train. Then I just brought it right back, and what I found was I was making progress. I wasn't tired, so why change anything? When it came to conditioning, I found that I reacted really well to repeat sprint stuff, so I could do that in higher volumes. But if I did long interval stuff at high heart rates, I was drained. I could do it 1 session a week. If I tried to do 3, 4 sessions a week, I was exhausted and I stopped making as much progress. Now, what's good about this is once you work out what's good for you, you don't have to follow cookie cutter plans. You start to realise training's actually a science, and it can be a simple plug and play, and you know exactly how you're going to feel in each week of your training cycles. You'll know, okay, week 3, I'm doing a little bit more volume, I'm going to feel a bit more fatigued here. You know how to change your recovery, you know how much progress to expect. It's basically a machine. You know what to put in, and you know what you're getting out. And training and progress becomes 100 times easier. At the end of this workshop, I'm going to give just a few of you the chance to have all this done for you and make sure you're training in the most ideal way for you. But we'll talk about that closer to the time. So your task for today is to tell me your minimum effective dose. If you don't know it, tell me you don't know it, and that's absolutely fine. But I'd love to know, what are you trying to progress? If it's low body strength, how many sets of squats or deadlifts or split squats do you need to make progress? If it's conditioning, how much distance per week do you know you need to make progress? Let me know. And if you don't know, it's not a problem. Just tell me you don't know. But I would love to know if it's something you're considering, because if it's not, you're going to be eating a lot into your recovery when you don't really need to. You can get all the results you want from less effort, less volume, and have more time to yourself and more time to recover. I'll see you in the group.